Dark, starring John and Danny.
What's going on, guys? Tonight, Danny wins sort of wins a tournament. The community balance data slate is real and it's spectacular. Serval gets excited about slapchopping his way to hobby glory. Are we going to see normal Val, creative director of the Frontline Gaming Network and beloved hobby personality? Or are we going to see gravelly voiced Serval Skull, a loathed member of the FLGN team? We'll find out soon here. We're going to have hot takes on cold takes and a bunch of memes that you cannot hear and wish you couldn't see. My name is John, and it's pretty grim after dark, so hold on tight. Yeah. Before we get going, that's the wrong thing. So before we get going, let's introduce my co-host as I move my notes around. My co-host today needs some introduction. We're fine. It's going to be fine. It's a great show so far. He's the terror of the top tables after his punishment of the Pacific Northwest this weekend, and the man who Colin Sherman actively submarines to avoid out of sheer terror. It's Daddy McDivett.
God. You know, I gotta say this. That maybe is the most insulting fat man music I've ever heard as an introduction. So thanks. Fucking thanks, Val. I'm just going to be coming out here. I'm coming out hot tonight. All right.
I like that for every mean thing that happens, Tyler gets punished by having to bleep out Danny one more time. You're like, damn it.
It's all his fault, right? Yeah.
Danny, so much news from the last week or so. What are you excited to talk about today?
Dude, there's so much going on, man. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that's really cool. I really like the announcement of that Zinch army. It seems pretty neat.
Yeah, another army of renown.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm excited to talk about all kinds of stuff.
Hey, let's start with something.
We have a full docket tonight, John.
We have a full docket as we have every night here. I want to talk about something before we get started, though. You had a GT experience that promoted you in my notes above Terror of the Mid-Tables, Terror of the Top Tables. And you actually won something at this event here, which our amazing producer can show us right now.
Hey!
Tau Tipping 2022. Best General, the cease and desist is on its way from Adam Abramowitz. Danny, how was the event, real quick?
Oh, it was a good time. It was at Line Guard Games in Hoquiam, Washington. I drove a fair bit there to get there. I had a great time. 5 really great games. I lost to Harlequins. But you got to bring Tau to Tau tipping, right? I mean, that feels like a prerequisite. So,
yeah, I also... Every time, I ask you, I really want you to be like, I had 4 really great games during this 5-game GT, and just say no more about it. Danny, let's waste no more time. Let's introduce this week's guest, who is familiar to all and maybe to some. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we have FLG, creative director Val Heffelfinger or the Serval. What do we have? I don't even know. Are we a cartoon today?
I'm being told by my producer that they.
What do we have right here? Looks like it's old Serval Skull in the house. How are you?
Gravelly voice foul.
Oh yeah, it's gravelly voice. What do you think? I'm going to show up as a cartoon and not use a stupid voice? Come on, guys.
Yeah, maybe.
Come on, guys.
An adult might.
An adult. Yeah. An adult.
Fresh off his purchase of a sound effect pack. Val is here, sprucing up the show left, right, and center. Guys, we're gonna waste no more time. This week we're starting with Adepticon Outrage.
Actually, John, if I could just interrupt for just 1 second here, just one moment.
So weird when you do it on screen and not just in our ear. But sure, go on ahead.
Well, I just want to draw quick attention to Danny's new haircut. It's I know last week we had some criticism, perhaps, of the leagues of Voltan and their undercut maybe resembling perhaps certain elements from the 2010s. You know, like hipsters and stuff. They like that undercut look. Tell me, Danny, how are the skinny jeans fitting?
I'm not sure. They're in the garbage, Val. I will say, when I did get this haircut, I took that image in as an example of what I wanted. You know how normally you show them like a good picture of yourself. I was like, hey, these new squad models are coming out.
Absolutely.
And, sorry, League of Voltan models, John. I don't want you to get upset.
Thank
with me.
you.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to misrepresent the leagues.
Yeah, I don't want to dwarf shame. And like, so I brought that in there. She took a look at it. She said, "Can you have a real picture that I can use instead of this model?" And so I had to show her a different picture. But ultimately, I think she really captured it. She did a great job.
Yeah.
So
and then just to jump in chat here, Beard AK, hey, how's it going, buddy? Says Val, Seth would have been better. No, he wouldn't have. Let's be honest.
Wow.
I do also want to say, before you respond to that there, Val, that I think it's amazing that you chose to compare Danny, quite possibly. And I'm not a small gentleman myself, but one of the tallest people I've ever seen in real life, to someone who I would assume is about half of his actual size.
Hey, look, he's a tall guy, but he's got a short haircut. You know what I mean?
It's a tall guy, short hair.
cool.
Oh, boy.
Promo code
Great paradoxes. Who
promo
knew?
code Falcon, guys. Danny's carpets match the drapes. That's 100% true.
And I think the best burn I've ever possibly seen, someone on Twitch just let us know, what is this Finecast saying that's what your barber said to you, Danny, saying that your hair was thin, breakable, and very annoying.
Like to shout out,
dude. Why would you call me out like that?
It seems to be the theme of the show this week. Apparently, we're coming in hot all over the place. We're just trying to make you make Tyler beep out more words.
let's not start too raw here. We got a lot of show to record, and I don't want to wear out my lower range doing this voice.
Sure.
Danny, and I have lots of opportunity for you to jump in and remind me that you winning Best General is the closest I'll come to winning Best General. So we're going to start this week with Adepticon outrage. And yes, it's still going on. As an unnamed Age of Sigmar, Tio shared his love of the hobby by kind of pooping on it a little bit here. He said, it was absolutely amazing to see so many friends at Adepticon and catch up. No regrets, even with COVID. Well, maybe there's one regret there.
Well,
I have a lot of takeaways from Adepticon. Notably, the painting standards seem to have fallen a bit. So this is a challenge to all to up their game. Guys, hot take there. That's basically like, I had fun, I caught COVID, and your armies look shit. Just to kind of kill your range, Val, what are your take on this?
Well, I think it's a good example of Adepticon priorities when getting a communicable disease is lower on the list of priorities than criticizing people's paint jobs. I think that's I think that feels right. That's on point.
It's pretty fair. Danny, has anyone ever been like super crappy to you about your army or about the quality of your army at the table before? Kind of what happened there?
Well, I told you to shut up and then to let me just like, can we just play this game? Like it was round 5, like you were losing by 60 points and you just got real catty and I didn't appreciate it, John.
Buddy, and the way people know this is a joke is because if there's a tournament, there's no way we're paired round 5. Unless it's like if it's a 30-round tournament, mathematically it's impossible after round 1.
Okay.
Val, what's the worst army you've seen deployed across the table from you, kind of quality-wise? And this is going to go to everyone. We're just starting with Val here.
Worst army quality-wise?
Yeah, like from crappy conversions to bad paint jobs to random models appearing.
Yeah, do you have a name of someone in particular?
Yeah.
I mean,
the title of this episode is Name and Shame.
I'm just the first thing that springs to mind. I don't know about you guys, but like back when I first started, 3rd edition, all Wraith Lords were pewter. And so like invariably they would just reduce down to a single leg glued to the base because they would just completely fall apart. So my buddy had a Wraith Lord with some star cannons on it, and it would just ruin my day, and it was literally just a leg on a base. That sucked.
It's quality. No one has a degree in soldering anymore. They can't get those miniatures together. What about you, Danny? You got to solder your metal miniatures together.
You know,
Soldering?
Danny's going to solder right on through that terrible metaphor.
Jesus Christ.
It's not a metaphor. Jeez, anyway.
Well,
Listen, English major, I don't know what. All right, over to the lawyer.
I know whenever I see a really bad army, like the first thing I want to do is get on the internet and write a passive-aggressive post about the entire event. Everybody is gonna. This is the best way to receive feedback: is telling the majority of the event that their armies looked bad. I know I want to go to Adepticon to play AOS. This guy, he can judge my army anytime.
I know. I like it.
I'm still at the place where I'm just happy people are there. You know. Like just to share the space. I've never really been into the. I'd be a hypocrite because I've long been a proponent of bringing down hobby snobbery, despite now producing a show that is entirely about being
Hobby
snobs, all the time. So full circle and such.
Circle of life.
Yeah.
I was gonna say for me the worst I think, and Danny you'll know this, is literal just Transformer toys. Paper cutout bases. Right when Knights was that supposed to be a Knight or a Riptide? No, it was a Wraith Knight, wasn't it?
I think they were Riptides or Wraith Knights. I don't remember.
But just Transformer toys on cutout pieces of paper for bases.
I'd like to share something from the chat here because I think it is an exemplary example of 7th edition hobby magic, which is from Nurgle Matthew, future guest of the show.
Whether he wants to be or not.
Played against pennies. Quote, played against pennies and nickels, standing in for splitting horrors. Cool. That is the least enthusiastic I've ever heard him, and he still said it was cool. So that's nice.
Oh, I mean, are they even on the right base sizes?
That was the era of the marshmallow brimstones. I don't know if you guys remember those.
The Lucky Charm brimstones.
The top table with all the Yannari with no turrets on any of the wave serpents, and good times. Anyway,
quality
John,
stuff.
why'd you host us out of this hole?
No, I can't. I've been trying for 9 months. What's the final draft, guys? We've talked about the past couple of weeks. It continues to come up in our conversations here.
Thank
the final
goodness.
draft of Hellstorm Wargaming's balanced data slate was published by Mikey last week to the joyous sounds of IP infringement claims due to making it look like the official balanced data slate, even though, it says Community Edition right there. There's a watermark in the middle that says Community Edition as well.
Right.
In return, Mikey redid the document to make it look less official, which looks like the hilarious "Are you happy now?" overkill of a man who interacts with the community too much. Guys, ignoring our stance on community rule sets, because I think we've been pretty clear about where we stand from that.
We're all
do you
for
see
it.
any of these changes as net positives for the game, Danny? Did you have a chance to look through that data slate there that we set up?
Well, no, I've seen it. No, stop it. Just stop it. Like I don't know. No, I'm not going to take it seriously. I'm not going to consider it. Like I want rules from an official source. Like I don't want this pretend like we're going to play like some other edition. Some different edition of the game that's I don't want to play I don't want to play Hellhammer.
Yeah, I don't want to play Hellhammer.
Oh man. Copyright FLGN Hellhammer.
Hellhammer.
We'll license this out for a very decent rate. We know an average lawyer.
It's a really good Jason Statham film from the early 20s. 2000s is what I meant. Shit. Anyway, look.
Right, we're real old. Hey, Val, what's your take on this?
My take is I think we're being a little bit harsh on community comp. Let the people play how they wish. I mean, if Mikey can get people to play Warhammer with him, much less with ballyhooed rules and community comp, I'm all for it. He's a good man.
But then it doesn't compare to anything, Val. Like,
so what does it matter? I mean, he lives in a bubble of his own devising. He's in an echo chamber of his own voice. Let him just rattle around in there with his community.
Let him be the eye of a hellstorm,
right?
For war gaming.
But in all seriousness, I mean, if it could get, I think the only issue is maybe fracturing the community. it's really interesting to me that we have fully embraced like the GT
Daddy
pack,
GW.
big Papa GW, and like it is the only thing that anyone does, and like that's so far from where things were like 2 years ago, where like even then there were still mission packs and tweaks being made. Now everyone's very reluctant to do anything, and I think it's resulting in a tremendous amount of community angst because it's not responsive enough. So I think whether or not it's community comp or maybe some layers that we could add, like say, if there's no FAQ out, you don't get to use the rules yet. That seems like a nice little stopgap.
Oh my god.
Or
Danny,
you don't
here?
publish or you don't ever nothing published between balanced data slates is playable in large tournaments. Something like that I think would be good.
Danny, how do you feel about that? About kind of like the idea, because this is something that's come up like quite a bit.
I'm killing his power boner.
I'm glad Herald of the Honest Wargamer is over here giving us some ideas. Like, wait until the FAQ is out before a book becomes tournament legal.
Who's Herald?
Never mind. Anyway, this
is Serval, a legally distinct character from the character of Val Heffelfinger, who you can see every Tuesday morning on the Honest Wargamer or night.
Just so everyone knows, Danny just undid a button on his shirt. He's getting hot under that collar.
I am. I'm stripping down. I'm sweating bullets here. I'm so mad. But really, like what I want to say, Val, is just the point that you made about it fracturing the community is a real concern. Like we've gotten to a good place where we're like all on the same page. Like you can compare events to each other, apples to apples.
Sure.
Like the things that are different now are, what are the tables like? You know, like are they using pot or poop? Like,
and we are a pot podcast. We know this.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, look.
Sure. But then we also have some things here, Danny, where we had some tournaments this last weekend where we had two different Tyranid books.
What?
Sorry, what?
There was a tournament held this last weekend where both the old Tyranid Codex was allowed and the new Tyranid Codex was allowed. And so, like, even though there's like that level of kind of comp, and we want to just be like, yeah, we're on the GT packet now. Like the community fractures itself in one way or the other, right?
Look, we're gonna hate each other.
Community? What? Come on, John. What a bad argument.
Danny, I think you just want to maintain that rock hard power boner all the way through this edition. That's what you want to surf this wave. And maybe some of us are like, hey, surf's up. It's a bit too intense. We're gonna hang out, have a pina colada with Mikey.
Okay. Good for you.
Also, welcome to the chat, Peter the Falcon, who we killed in 3 seconds as he went from saying, the best 40K show in the world to John says weekend, so weird.
Weekend.
Instantly killed it.
It's that uptick.
Yeah.
As a helping hand, I did offer to add this helpful watermark to the community rule set, so it was quite clear what it was. Which was just, this isn't real life. Just add a big old black bar that says this isn't real life across it. That way we know that, guys, it's just a little plastic space, man. Please don't take it so seriously. Remember last week?
Wait. I want to address this comment in the chat.
Danny, you're real fired up.
Pina coladas. Does anybody not? Who doesn't drink pina coladas? I love pina coladas.
I'm very glad that this is something that Danny and I could really get back on the same page about. Not only am I a fan of pina coladas, perhaps walks in the rain, but I am also a fan of a pina colada in the most ridiculous glass. I think it is very important that you have some sort of a snifter or large bulbous thing that's embarrassing, frankly, and just maintain a lot of really strong eye contact with anyone who has a problem with it.
Have you ever seen the ones in those really big, like ceramic brown jugs that are completely ugly that look like a tiki head? I've definitely had them in those before. That's been awesome.
Hey.
But yeah, I agree. The amount of embarrassment that's proportional to the deliciousness of the drink. It just makes it better.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Nothing more delicious than eating or drinking a bunch of slushy alcohol out of hollow leg, as we've all done from time to time.
Who doesn't like a breezy milkshake?
Oh, man.
Who doesn't? Remember last week's Sexy Avatar? Well, now it's time to find out who's brave enough to bring us Sexy League of Votan. As we find out here again, this is just a picture of a meme which shows that the internet ruins everything by trying to sexualize dwarfs. Guys, miniatures are sexualized a lot. Question for you both. Who deserves to have a sexy version of their miniature? Starting with Danny.
Oh, Nagash.
Sexy Nagash.
Yeah.
He's already he's already got, he's pretty bony as it is,
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to see one that's a little more boned up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean how much more
Decomposed apart from the chest and the butt. Yeah, I love it.
How much more he has a literal boner. Like, we don't have to beat around the bush here. We can just say this.
There
Nagash
is no
has
bush to beat around.
No, it's long gone. Promo code Falcon. Yeah, Now I am trying to actually add to the slideshow something here as we go, which I think is an example.
We're just going to say here real quick while Val's doing that there, Danny. I think it's telling that Val has done more to promote our stupid Manscaped thing than we ever have. Yeah, and it's super appreciated. It's super good.
So I believe the snowball question that old John there had tossed up was, is there something out there that could be sexified? Internet Rule 26. And I thought that this was a Warhammer race that was invulnerable to titification. Dead wrong. This on screen right now is a Tyranid with boobs. A Tyranid, if you will. Oh. And that's been 3D printed. Perhaps one of the most persuasive arguments to ban 3D printing is the ability to put boobs even on Tyranids.
Yep.
And yeah. And then the way they explained it was also just pretty awful.
But Val, the jokes there with Lichter and tits just write themselves. Like, absolutely the easiest thing. Like, it is some low-hanging fruit.
That is low. That is some low-hanging fruit.
It super works out as well, because I read somewhere as well online this week that they like the fact that synaptive imperative can be shortened to simp and refers to Tyranids. So it works that they all start being quite chesty now. Yeah, three double D printing. Guys, follow up to this one here. This is the last one in this one here. Who absolutely does not need to have a sexy version of themselves as a miniature on the table? Like, who do you not want to see?
No need.
I don't know. Like, Shadows, I don't know. A Necron Lord. There's so many things.
Already out
all
there.
of them, John.
Already out there. Yeah.
Quite
what
frankly,
about a servitor?
There's not one thing. Oh, you tell me there's not
John,
a sexy servitor?
Real bad.
There's
that's
like
real
100
bad.
Sexy servitors, man. 100 P.
That's the only one I can think that shouldn't actually exist. And thank you, the War Mistress. Any female characters ever? Yeah, that's pretty much the answer to that thing. Shut it down. You got it going, guys. This week I watched what I think might be my favorite painting tutorial ever, with Rob from the Honest Wargamer presenting his patented slap chop method. Of course, my favorite part of the the video is Rob calmly drinking a cup of tea or coffee. Thanks to all the time he saved. And for all our UK listeners, I really loved the fact that the video had a Neil Buchanan art attack style vocal calmness to it.
Oh, yeah.
More importantly than Rob's coffee drinking habits are the results. Taking a black undercoated model from this to this in literally no time throughout the video here. Using nothing but 2 dry brushes and contrast paint. Guys, did you see this method in action? Val, I know you did. Daddy, do you have a chance to check out that video there?
No, I have not yet. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So it's like one random YouTube video in a sea of thousands. Val, why don't you take us through this here?
Well, I'd just like to say to everyone at home that Danny applied the correct amount of dejection there at having not watched the Slap Chop video. I'm a big fan of Slap Chop. Currently clipping along at about 23,000 views on his Wargamer, getting some love, which is lovely and nice. And also, a biting satire of hobby videos. So I love that it actually teaches you something while being so very sarcastic about the art form that we have out there, known as the painting tutorial. Also, slap chopping, very good method for those of us like myself who wish to get results without effort.
So Val, you've clipped a bunch of those clips. You've used the method yourself right now. Did you have any sort of like aha moments where like you had Robin like, hey, try it. You're like, yeah, well, maybe.
I've always liked the idea of painting with washes. I think what blew my mind about some of what Rob got going on here was that the results, I think, look fantastic, and the reasoning behind it is just, I think, some quality dry brushing. I do find his tutorial on how to dry brush incredibly patronizing and hilarious. Very much recommend it. But yeah, I think like the key on this one is how you actually approach the dry brush, and then getting a nice even layer with the Citadel contrast paints. He mixes water in. It is a technique. It's not. I have tried it. It's not like immediately the most amazing thing, but I think it does get you a quality result with a reasonable amount of input. And for me, really, the thing that's great for is that it just feels nice. You're making progress like almost immediately, and like your model just immediately looks pretty good. And I think it's sort of a better representation of what something like the contrast paints can do for you, because the sort of like blast it with $30 primer and then slap it on, with your pinky finger. I don't think. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if that was how easy it was, but it's not. It does take a little bit of technique, but you get really great results.
My entire Black Templar army is spray with $30 primer and finger paint black over it. There, I'll have you know, it looks terrible. Danny, what are some, like, you have obviously hobbied a while. You have some really great looking armies. What are some hobby tips that you have that like people just are like, huh, okay, I wasn't sure about that one, or like, that's not gonna. Oh, it really works well. Like, what are some of your go-to hobby tips?
Well, I think batch painting is really effective. Like that's definitely one thing I do quite a lot of. So I paint one color on like 30 dudes all at the same time, and then I do a lot of like base coat, wash, highlight kind of stuff, and maybe another highlight on top of that. And that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Like,
yeah.
Watch a bunch of tutorials online. There's people that are really good at painting online. You can get a lot of really good advice.
Yeah.
And I'm also you can watch Danny for the last 20 seconds, and you can also get amazing advice by watching this video.
Mostly about haircuts, though. To be fair, this technique I think has been obviously it's existed even before contrast paints existed. Like the I guess pre-shade and wash. Vince Ventriella. How did anyone know who I'm talking about? He's
today.
Pardon?
I saw an ad on Facebook for a painting class by him.
Oh, okay. He's got a series of videos that are actually literally this method. So it's something that's been done, but it hasn't been done in as bitingly a sarcastic manner as Rob has presented here. It's fantastic.
I'm gonna watch Rob's right after we get done tonight.
Yeah. No,
you'll enjoy
yourself.
It's the sarcasm that makes it. It's fantastic for that. It's like 3 minutes of information wrapped up in 12 minutes of sarcasm, and it's my favorite thing in the world ever. What about you, Val? Like you're chugging along through Warhammer Fantasy right now. What are some of your like go-to hobby tips that you kind of do all the time?
Honestly, basically, I think the number one tip I would have is you call someone known as a commissioned painter, and you give them a bunch of money.
I love it. And then if you can't have a good-looking army, then obviously you're just poor, too poor. Fair. Yeah, guys, you gotta love it when Val goes through the show notes and adds musical stings to his cutting replies.
Yeah, and also I don't know what any of the buttons are, so we're gonna get a really random selection of sound effects.
A little crazy here.
Yeah,
amazing. Well, we're gonna move on here, guys. Discourse Miniatures, YouTube channel that was made aware of quite recently, continues their hot takes with their latest video titled "Games Workshop Should Lose the Warhammer IP." Which seems not only a little harsh, but also completely impossible to do. Guys, what's your take on the current state of kind of the Warhammer IP? Like, there's been a lot of people focusing on this as kind of like a dog whistle almost. Danny, how is the Warhammer IP to you right now?
Dog whistle. Hold on, I want to unpack that.
Yeah.
What do you mean by how is this a dog whistle?
Well, Well, because people are using the term like, "Oh, the Warhammer IP, the Warhammer IP." So, like your internet commentators are kind of talking about the value of the Warhammer IP and how GW is devaluing it. So, whenever it's kind of mentioned, it's kind of pulling everyone out. Danny, you're looking crizzly at me. I love that. Expand on that.
Why though? Why are they saying these things, John? I don't understand. Isn't there? I mean, their IP is incredibly valuable. Like, yeah, okay, it's. If
Oh,
you
thank
want
God you got there in the end.
like a purely reflection of stock price, is it going like is it gone down? Yeah, I don't even know where it's at right now.
Actually, yeah, it has, but I don't know if it has anything to do with any of this.
Right.
Man, if only we had Val Heffelfinger on and not Serval, who can tell us the economy of the
Serval
Warhammer.
doesn't know shit. He's a servitor.
I'm just look, guys, it's true, and even when I'm not just a gravelly voiced hunk of burning servitor, I also don't know what I'm talking about. So that's good. It's fine. It's consistent. I would say I don't know what this she's talking about here. I don't know how they're going to lose the IP. Perhaps the misplaced USB stick. I could see that. I could see Games Workshop keeping the quote-unquote IP in one place, and then maybe like they have some sort of a system where you check it in and out, and like someone like takes it home.
Book.
Yeah, like someone takes it home to get some work done, and they leave it on the train. Like I could see that as a potential outcome. But
Well, maybe
I don't
that's
think,
what happened, and that's why squats disappeared for 25 years.
could be they just
It's
misplaced the IP.
Someone left them on the
USB
train.
was in the British Rail.
They just lost the IP. That could very well be the case.
They got double decker.
Hey guys,
I
when
don't know.
they say lose the IP, they don't mean like the rights to it. They mean like literally they
physically
lost it.
misplace it. Yeah.
Oh, I see. And they're not saying like that they. Yeah. Okay. All right.
No, I think this person is.
That they should do it, or that they can do it, or like what's the title of this exactly?
Games Workshop should lose the Warhammer IP, as in I think implying that it's taken away. That it's taken away from them.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Right. Okay. That was my thought too.
Yeah.
Like
now, Danny, I'm not a fancy lawyer. I'm not going to law school. Is it possible for a company to lose their own property because people are sad that their army's not good?
I think this is.
I mean, I think your rhetorical question, John, is just that. So, yeah, you answered it perfectly yourself. You don't even. Need
Dude. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks,
that you're
John.
still
Thanks
in law
for
school.
Me on your statement. I appreciate it.
Dude, I'm so proud of you that you're still only in law school, but you're still not answering a question, but making a very long statement about
it. I think this video stands in stark contrast to the I would say witch hunt launched on this very show last week to find the leakers, to identify the leakers and stop them from robbing these two fine content producers from being able to produce unspoiled videos for YouTube.
Please.
And every 10,000 views we get is like half of a hot dog.
It's that many more shorn bushes out there in this world.
Can you imagine like the tens of views that we're losing because of this? It's ridiculous.
That being said, getting back to the point, should Games Workshop lose the IP? I say back it up. Don't just have it on one USB stick. Maybe print out a copy, or have a desktop somewhere that you got all the files backed up on. And, or just only give a couple of the IPs out at a time. So that way you never lose it all like you did with the squats. Very sad.
And I think that Discourse should lose her ability to post about this stupid shit on YouTube.
She definitely does like ride that like indignance wave. I'm pretty sure this has everything to do with Horus Heresy. I think I watched a good 5 seconds of it. But anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I've got an incredible tolerance.
Danny, just based off of Serval's here assumptions that we're physically losing parts of the IP, is there any parts of the IP that you wish were misplaced on the train?
Oh, that would just go away forever?
That would just go away forever.
Oh man. You know what? No. You know what? I love it. I love the bad stuff. The good stuff. No,
perfect.
I don't. Yeah, it's you got to take the bad with the good, otherwise it's not. You don't get the holistic like image of what Warhammer is, and all of that is important. The humor, the stupid shit, the really cool stuff, like all of that stuff belongs, and none of it needs to go away. I think they do a fantastic job for the most part with their intellectual property.
I would.
Val, what needs to go away?
What needs to go away is the what's the word? Shameless shilling happening on this program constantly at the behest of your Games Workshop masters.
Dude, how did he find us out?
What are they?
It is part of the NDA that we beg for forgiveness daily.
You're wearing out the knees on your pants, gentlemen, with the groveling.
Please, Master Pro.
But seriously,
Peter, I absolutely have read all of the Dawn of War books. They're really bad. All right, fair. Let's get rid of those. I'm good with that. Like, we can keep the Dawn of War storyline, but the books need to go.
I have one. I have something I'd like to have undone.
Yeah, for sure. Go.
I think this to me bothers me in the same way that like everyone's related or like someone's son or like cousin in Star Wars. I think that like the inventors of stuff in 40K being just the name of the thing that was invented, like the fact that the Land Raider was invented by a guy named Land.
He didn't technically invent it, I don't think.
Well, whatever. Found the STC. I don't give a shit. It's dumb.
And of course, in the most recent Dawn of War book, Jeremiah Primaris came to view.
Val, he also invented the Land Speeder. Or found the
Land Speeder as well. Yes, he's a pretty
like
remarkable character.
He doesn't invent anything. He just finds someone else's instructions. And he's like, "This is mine now." Like beforehand, it was probably like the Troop Killer Tank Buster 7000. He's like, "No, it's a Land Raider now."
Maybe Arkin found the IP in like some weird quantum moment of meta-ness. He rediscovered the IP and brought it back, and now we play Landhammer.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I'm really happy that we have, John Rhino, that he discovered that stuff. Entity Predator. That guy, I don't know about him. He may need to, we may want to erase that part of it. I don't know. That's just maybe a personal opinion.
Oh, I do like the idea that, like, maybe GW lost its IP through USB sticks scattered through the warp by the Chaos Gods to be found in the future by people.
With stupid names.
And then then Jimmy Votan finds this USB stick. He's like, squats, no. The League of Votan now.
All right, let's move along.
Yeah, thanks, host Val.
No problem.
So we're going to continue on here as I find my place. It's now time, Daddy, for my favorite segment of the show, and we're even going to have title card art for it soon. We're going to look at our own comments and reviews.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
Booyah.
With the most positive review.
Should I get some good, like a good soundtrack for reading these reviews? I think I've got a really good one. I've used it already in the show, but I think I've got a good soundtrack. Ready?
Get some random noises as well.
Cue it up. Ready, John? All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Love it. So here, it's our first one here. John and Danny, you are the worst of the worst. I came here for the Chaos Space Marine content review, and instead I saw at least 10 unfunny memes in the first 20 minutes. After that, it went off the rails, and I couldn't follow what was being said at all. Detestable. Danny, what are your thoughts on that one there?
All right, am I good? Do I need to speak up over the music?
Don't make me play it again.
Maybe when we play it back, it'll be half the noise.
Look, Nick, the only thing that we have hurting over here is our hearts after reading that comment. We really put a lot into it over here, and I'm sorry that it wasn't up to your high standards. We'll do better next time. I no, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that.
It won't. And I will say, it says here we had 10 unfunny memes in 20 minutes. Wrong. We had 29 pictures. That's the entire show because Val complained about that.
Sure did.
And 10 minutes in, we would have used maybe 6 or 7 of them max.
I don't know. I feel like 10 shitty memes in 20 minutes. That is 2 shitty memes. Hold on.
That's a great
shitty meme. That's a
show.
shitty meme every 2 minutes. That is an unsustainable pace. I mean, that's like, wouldn't that be? I mean, that's a lot of shitty memes. That's all I'm saying, Nick. Like,
It's going to be like the scene from like Pacific Rim, where like first it was one shitty meme every 5 minutes, and it was one shitty meme every 4 minutes.
Basically, I think what Nick is saying here is that we need to pick up the pace of the shittiness of our memes. I think that's
really
fantastic.
Harder and faster.
Chimpopo calling out the 23 viewers on Twitch right now. Grand total, by the way, guys. I don't know if you know this, but we are pushing 60 viewers right now. We were at 56 until I said that. It immediately dropped to 50. Wow,
guys, those six embarrassed and shamed people should feel good that they left. The 50 of you guys who come every week should be ashamed that you're still here.
It's fantastic.
So, he quite rightly points out the title really didn't match the content. Guys, what is the worst clickbait title you've actually clicked through on? Starting with you, Val.
Let's see. I can't find the thing that I named this fast enough. I was trying to punt there. I don't know. I have nothing to say. Basically, 99% of the things I watch on the internet are things I regret immediately clicking on and think to myself, how did I click on that? I'm a sucker. A sucker.
Yeah, for sure. Danny, what's the worst clickbait you've clicked through on?
I don't know. Like, Dave said it was really good. Like, there was this advertisement for some kind of like stepmom comic. And it just I don't know. It ended up real weird. It made me uncomfortable, so I left.
That's pretty cool, yeah. And for me, it's when star FLG and producer Tricky Dick told me to watch this really funny video, and it wasn't.
Oh wow, yeah, probably not.
Let's move on here. We got to remember the ideal viewer state for this show, which comes from PB here, which says Chaos Space Marines in the current meta. 5 minutes of half-baked wish listing back in my day, Chaos Space Marine content. 59 minutes of rambling jokes, rumors, and current events. 5 out of 5 stars would listen to again.
There we go. That's an attaboy, PB. Thanks for that.
That is an attaboy.
And also, again, I'd like to point out that there's been 5 likes on this one comment, which is more likes than our show has ever gotten in the history of its existence.
More viewers than we usually get here as well. So that's really good. I will say we're going to go for this next one here again real quick. The PDX Raven let us know first time watching. I'm confused, but I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. Which is, again, ideal viewership state. Thank you so much. That guy gets it. Yeah, thank you, Grumbling Dad. He really does get it. Well, and then we have a review, a 5-star review for the podcast here on iTunes. It says, guys, I implore you, the loyal Grim After Dark listener, audience, sorry, you missed out a thing there, to fill our iTunes page with 5-star reviews that are just copy-paste of this text. I really appreciate that he verbatim wrote down what I said when I said it.
Yeah, I was going to say. The first person plural there was a bit of a giveaway, I thought, maybe to perhaps the ham-fisted hand of Danny or perhaps John. Padding the old numbers there, stuffing the ballot box, as they say.
Thank you. I got to stuff that ballot box. I haven't done that yet.
run a land train on that ballot box.
Perfect.
While we really appreciate the kind words and begging, what we actually asked you to type was this. Which is, why is the show still on? The last episode spent the first 20 minutes with the hosts trying to outdo each other in obnoxiousness. I hate to leave a review like this, as I'm sure that they aren't very well paid. But seriously, this show makes every other show on the network seem worse simply by being here.
Wow.
Val, I love that you laughed more at the part where they said that they were being very well paid.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a funny
We're
thing.
laughing about that. It's a big joke to us too. Over here.
What do you like? Come on, really? Come on.
All right, and then finally, in our reviews here, one commentator didn't like our take on the Oscar Slapgate scandal, saying a public slap is nowhere near an acceptable consequence of telling one joke in the context of an award show roast. Please stick to Warhammer commentary. And you know what? You're absolutely right. So let's get back to the Warhammer commentary we are so bad at. 5 stars. So moving on, not reacting or explaining anything for an audio audience here. Daddy, it's time for your Seinfeld meme.
Oh no.
Oh, all right.
Heck yeah. It's what 3 people have called an okay part of the show.
No, there hasn't been 3 people who said that.
So Danny, take us through what's going on here. It's a popular format.
One sec, I gotta take the chroma key off of this.
It also has a green background.
Hold on, we'll fix it. All right, it's better now. It's better now.
I can't find green pictures. No Dark Angel content.
No, it's all right. It doesn't have to happen. Go ahead, Danny. What's going on here?
Yeah, this is the same Kenny Rogers Roasters episode that we've used every episode. Except for one.
True.
Why is the light so
not
bright,
many of
Danny?
them could. So it shows Jerry entering Kramer's apartment, being blasted by green light. Which
Is it the
dwarves
Necrons?
apparently they
Is
have a
it
lot of green light. There's not even any on the miniature.
Is there Necrons involved?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what it seems like. Maybe they stole the pictures from that. Anyway, it's the symbol of the Leagues of Votan.
Got it.
And Kramer says, "They're back, Jerry. The Leagues have returned."
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good meme / not a very good meme.
I'm really excited about. I'm going to find different versions of that same picture, and I'm going to make you explain the same Kenny Rogers roast.
Next time, I'm going to give
over and over and over again.
Yeah.
This week,
I look forward to you explaining that joke over and over and over again as
Yeah.
well.
It's perfect.
It's
Yeah,
going
it's
to be
gonna
real
be-
good. It's going to be some quality content.
everyone loves repeating the same bad joke week after week after week after
No.
week.
Just you.
This week, it was the League of Votan, guys. There's a lot of people pre-hating on the Squad's revival. Where do you guys stand on this here? Val, are we excited to see the Squaddy Voltans come in, or do we think that we shouldn't maybe have another
How
army?
dare they release a new model line before Chaos Space Marines and a wide variety of things that could probably use some help out there?
Absolutely. Danny, are you just as mad that we're making fun toys instead of your
Hell
fun
no,
toys?
dude. Give me more toys, baby. I need another army.
How dare they release the Leagues of Votan before re-releasing the 8th edition Orc Codex? How dare they?
Oh, like replace the 9th one with the 8th one?
Yeah, let's just go back in time, guys.
Okay, cool.
I wish I could turn back time.
I know some
Yeah,
people
YouTube
like that.
takedown. That was just like Tina Turner.
No
Holy
doubt.
cow.
No doubt.
Uh,
I'm a private
Dude, how
dancer,
heavy is
John.
the land trans, John.
Guys, I'm so excited for land trains that I pulled epic rules for land trains so we could
Woo!
discuss what a land train could be.
Oh,
Guys, in epic, land trains is super heavy, had 2 void shields, or plus 1 void shield per car pulled after the engine. So it would have on average 6 void shields. You had battle cars with a 2-up armor save, so it's slightly better than the Lehman Russ. You could have a Rad Bomb battle car, a Dragon battle car, a Berserker battle car,
Pretty neat,
a
I guess.
Mortar battle car.
wait.
And I mean, these are all really incredibly represented on this model that you've pulled up as well. I mean,
They
it's
are.
as if it's, I mean, it really brings those rules to life.
Comes to life.
It really comes to life. Danny, how can anyone hate the idea of a land train? It is literally the most perfect
Dude,
military
Look,
vehicle.
I don't get it. It's the most dwarf thing ever. I mean, I love it. Look, did you see the battlements on top of the train? Like they're like their own little. Each is one is like a little fortress.
Yeah,
It's-
you can sort of see those uneven ridges that were maybe carved in there with a key.
Hey, look,
Maybe
You
it
know
is
what?
a key.
Epic did not have the best miniatures. This was before a lot of their modern miniature tooling.
Now,
Imagine Epic nowadays would be very nice.
Now, Danny, are you upset about the fact that the land train is coming, but it's for these guys?
Boom!
Bum,
Oh,
bum,
Look at
bum.
Tamagotchi we
No.
got there.
Not at all. You know what? Actually, Val, I looked at this picture and I thought it was one of the coolest 40K pictures of miniatures that I've seen in years.
Wow. The hyperbolicness of that statement, incredible.
I will say, when
Incredible.
I saw that picture today, I don't have time for any games aside from 40K. I'm making time for Ash Wastes based on
man.
the fact that I can do a mission where I assault train. That just sounds awesome. Val, we've had sort of rules for Necromunda kind of like fan brewed before for vehicles. What is your
Have
take
we?
on the fact that vehicles are going to be, people like did their own Ash
Well, we
Waste
know that
and-
my stance on fan rules and community comp in Necromunda is a scourge. They're ruining the game. And that we should not have those things. It's bad.
Are you excited for kind of these kind of vehicles though, where there might not be like offensive but more mission based?
Is it official?
Yeah.
I'm all for
Yeah,
it. I'm all for it.
If it was unofficial, would you not be? for
Not
it?
in
Is that your
Necromunda.
NDA?
Not in Necromunda. No, sir. No. There's a line in the sand that we do not cross, and that's fan-made rules for Necromunda.
I'm
However-
glad you're finally you're on my team here, Val. It
Yes.
feels good.
Yes, team. But I want to point out that these guys, a pretty cool model. I like that they're finding another use for the Munitorum crates. It's
Hell yeah.
amazing. I don't know. I want to know the pitch deck of the guy who made the Munitorum crate and was like, "All right, so we're gonna make these crates, see, and then everything that we make from there on is gonna be able to fit with it, right? You're gonna be able to tow it with a crane. It's gonna fit perfectly with these scaffolds, and then we're gonna put it on a truck."
I want it to be, they're like, hey Steve, can you design that new Imperial Knight? Have we sold 8 million Muratonum containers yet? No. Then I can't work on that new Knight yet.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Absolutely not.
damn it.
I don't know what happened. If like it's wild to me. The only thing I want to mock about this wacky awesome thing is the throwback gunners with the extended arms with locked elbows. They kind of look like Cobra guys from GI Joes hanging out on
Yeah.
there.
I do like to look like it looks like they can easily shoot each other as well.
Oh, very easily, yes.
But
Yeah,
the
that's
more
a
said,
rule, John. If you have a model in between them and they shoot at each other, they're instantly dead. I'm pretty sure that's part of Necromunda.
That's probably like 6 pages in like a book you paid $80 for. It was like the
joke's on
rules
you,
for that interaction.
Necromunda was the story of the month on Black Library. It was $4 for that book. But it's a great looking model. What I'm more excited about is it looks like Gorka Morka might be making a comeback via the test of whether Ash Waste does pretty well. And guys, I'm quitting all war games apart from Gorka Morka if that comes back out again. That is like the pinnacle of gaming.
That's an announcement.
It is. Danny, back to the squatty land trains. How would you like kind of translate that to 40K like as a modern thing? It's a very visual part of the squat history. People are really looking forward to it. But how do you make a train work on a table? And especially the table as dense as we're seeing with kind of modern 40K.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you make it wide, but not too wide, like no more than 4 inches.
Right.
Basically a
The train.
perfect width.
The gauge
then,
or the girth.
Yeah, don't make it too girthy. It's really important that it's able to snake around some of those tight bends. So, like, and the key to it, I think, is going to be to like give it the ability to kind of maybe change shape as the game goes on, like dropping cars and letting them like sitting them on an objective or something like that. That could be kind of cool. But lots of guns, pretty real tough, and steamrolls its way through any other model. That's what I want to see.
I personally would like to be able to really embody the life of the Ash Road trucker and role play. Just not anything particularly happening. Just driving across the ash wastes. I got to get back to the wife. Got to make the drop and get back before I get too much radiation exposure. Like something like that. Nothing else on the table. Just me, my Munitorum crate truck, and the open road.
Somewhere in Nottingham, there's a GW rules writer who's screaming in fury that the latest Warhammer Plus series, Ash Road Truckers, has been spoiled. Podunk Backwater Show. Like, can't do it anymore. No one's gonna care.
Ash Road
Danny,
Trucker.
going back to the squad train again, it looks goofy. It looks like there's keys or chain swords on it. How do you modernize it for the grimdark aesthetic that we're looking at here? What do you want to see in a land train?
Well, I mean, clearly the most important part of it being grimdark is skulls.
Sure.
So we're gonna need some dwarf skulls all over that bad boy. Maybe some trophy skulls of like some orcs or something like that, because I'm sure space dwarves hate orcs too. Yeah, I don't know, and make sure that it's it looks like it's kind of built like a fist or like a brick.
So like this is like the model, literally like from here up.
Right.
That's it right there.
Just like that, John.
And like turn 1 to 3, it just goes all the way up the table.
You're nailing it.
Guys, for those of you complaining that this was supposed to be the year of chaos, joke's on you. Behold, Alan Perry's Chaos Squats from the early 90s.
Oh, that's nice.
Who's to say that there isn't chaos coming this year in the form of squats? And really, Danny, what's a bigger FU than chaos squats?
Man, nothing. There's nothing, John. I really like the guy with the claw in the corner. That's my favorite model. He's just kind of raising like a random claw hand, like on the lower
Oh
left
yeah, the
hand.
lobster claw was quite a key part of the aesthetic in those days.
Yeah,
I feel like the guy on the bottom right with the sniper rifle is a pair with lobster claw guy. And the lobster claw holds the sniper rifle steady.
Oh,
That's
maybe.
nice. That's good.
So it's like a chaos squats weapon
It's like
team.
a
And then Jim Popo, where are their arms? This is back in the glory days of Games Workshop, where all the bodies were metal and weighed enough to murder a man in a sock. And all of the arms were flimsy plastic with one position.
Yep.
It's a beautiful time.
Perfect.
Guys, let me share some of my hobby progress with you guys in this fine video.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah, so this is just my trash can.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. It's going this is perfect. And as you can see, Be'lakor is coming out of the hobby trash can and going into the to-do pile. Yeah, it's quite wonderful.
It's good.
Guys, Danny specifically here, what made Be'lakor come out of the trash can of failure?
Well, I think there was a leak on the internet a little bit ago of maybe some
damn leakers.
Potentially combining with the upcoming Chaos Knights Codex, where you can take a Chaos Knight in with Be'lakor.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that army was really lacking was any kind of like long range good firepower. If you want to take that with that list, I think there's definitely like kind of a summoning build that works pretty well. But you can definitely add a knight to that army and make it real hard to hurt. So we'll see how that goes. Probably poorly.
Probably great for 3 months or so until a balanced data slate comes and fixes it.
Till the quarter turns.
Guys, do you remember a time, starting with you here, Val, just to give Danny a small break from me asking all the hard questions right away. Do you remember a time that...
I mean, like, you could lob up a softball to me, too. I mean, I can handle it.
No, it doesn't seem fair. Do you remember a time that a new rule made a trash model amazing? So just like a model that was whiling away in the trash pile of history, and new rules came out, they kind of instantly pulled it back to the forefront.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the one that immediately springs to mind would be late 8th edition, New Space Marine Codex. And as I've talked this paragraph, I still haven't remembered the name of that gun, the mortar thing that everyone...
Thunderfire Cannon.
Thunderfire Cannon. One of the worst models and fine cast adaptations that exist. It was bad. It was a bad model. Bad. It should feel bad. It looks bad. It's awful. And it was too bad that so many people bought it. Now they don't need it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny, what about you? What is a model that you've pulled out of the trash can of obscurity thanks to some great new rules?
Ooh, I started like working on my Wind Riders again. Like, because they were pretty bad. So those are Eldar jet bikers.
I'm aware of what a Wind Rider is, but like, you think that's an ugly model?
No, but like
It's
it
a
was
Jess Goodwin sculpt, sir.
Look, all of Jess Goodwin's sculpts are gems.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
Glad we cleared that up.
No one's disparaging Jess Goodwin.
No,
here.
not on this podcast.
But yeah, Wind Riders, of course, had that awful 2.5 years of not being great.
Yeah. It's been a real shame, John.
It has been. Guys, last week on Signals from the Frontline, staff judge and serial eye roller Adam Solis dropped by to talk about some of the changes to the ITC, and our superstar producer dropped this amazing image. So we have Show Me Your Codex, a memoir, more accurate than Battleforge. Reese told me something different. I thought you were Salty John. Backing off of this, here's a softball one for Val here.
Go ahead, lob it up,
much
baby.
of his time viewing competitive 40K.
Mhm.
What are some of the worst judge calls you've ever had against you?
Against me? I don't know that I've
Yeah.
ever had. The only time I've ever really argued a call, I feel bad about it to this day, was actually a paint score judgment with.
Was it at Adepticon?
No, it was at the.
It's a callback.
It was in the, I would say, the extended Adepticon meta at something that just immediately, the name of the tournament immediately evokes the conditions of the bathrooms. It's called the Beef and Wing in Buffalo, New York.
The beef and wing?
The Beef and Wing.
Whoa.
It's anyway, David Koska, hobby legend and passionate Adepticon attendee, said that my bases didn't match. And what he meant by, like, in the rubric, matching bases, obviously, was that the bases were exactly the same as the presentation board. I interpreted matching like one might pair a, I don't know, blue pair of pants with perhaps a blue shirt. You know, maybe they aren't the same, but they match. And
In America, we call it a Canadian tuxedo.
that's correct. I didn't want to spell it out, but I mean, it was a question of national pride. Style is eternal. And quite frankly, Koska, I thought that my stuff was matchy-matchy. It was same, but different. And I felt met the rubric. Turns out that he perhaps was a little bit hurt by me raising my voice, and someone had to ask me to calm down.
Val, I don't think,
Wow.
I'm sure there's people in chat here who are going to disagree right away. I don't think I've ever heard you yell. So that's shocking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought I was being funny, but apparently no one watches sports, so they don't get the sort of like coming out of the dugout and kicking dirt motif I was going for. They just thought I was kicking at Koska with my feet.
People just don't watch NASCAR anymore.
That's correct.
That's exactly what he was referencing there.
Danny, what is kind of one of the worst judge calls you've had against you? Now, Danny, you got real passionate during some close games.
I do?
Yeah,
Okay.
you do. So, okay, well, what's some of the worst calls you've had against you, or at least one of them?
All of them, I would bet, were bad calls if they were against
man.
you.
Yeah, I've got one. LVO 2018. I'm playing Eldar. The book has just dropped. I bring it to this tournament. I'm doing real well. I'm going into round 6. I'm 4-1. I'm ready to go. I face off against another Eldar player, and we both have Rangers. Now, the rules at this point in time in 8th edition specified that you roll off, and the person who wins gets to put down their infiltrators first, like very clearly. And I was told after I had already placed my first unit of infiltrators that no, that's not the way that rule works, because I was placing my second. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm putting my guys here. I get to put both my units down because I won the roll." And so we called the judge over, and who do I get but salty freaking John? And he saunters over to the table, and I go. He goes, "Oh yeah, no, you alternate." And I'm like, "The rules very specifically say this," and he's like, "I don't care what the rules say. I've been ruling it this way the entire tournament. Leave me alone." And he walks off.
Well,
And
to
I'm
be
like,
fair,
Okay. And that literally lost me the game in a lot of different ways.
to be fair, he's not called Sugary John. He tells it like it is right there. And then as Chad's saying here, That's why you should always message Reese's personal Facebook account to ask him dumb ruling questions. Because there's nothing judges love more than you asking a question and telling you you're wrong, and then holding a phone in your face, which just has a message from Reese saying, sure, whatever.
I miss the simpler times where people would get translated versions of rules from like Germany that had like a slightly different version of the rule. Like that was some good shit. I miss that.
Those were the days.
That was when you're getting an edge meant something. It meant that you actually had to go down to the library, find a German person, and get them to read you verbatim what was written. And somehow the Deutschland version of the Chaos Demons Codex.
Yeah, that's when you're like, wait, go back 5 words ago. What did you say? Did you say can or must?
Was that holy within? Did you say that?
It's back when cheating meant something and we didn't just roll dice behind ruins or pretend that something had more wounds when it was. We did actual translation work.
I just want to let you know, John, that we are dipping below a shitty meme every 2 minutes.
We have to pull it up.
We got to pick
You got
up
to
the
move
pace.
along.
We're going to move along. The Horus Heresy Open Day is coming up, and some of the best content creators will be there to share the excitement of new additions with the players, and everyone was joyous. Oh, and wait, no, not everyone was here. Someone said, I'll be over here doing get started videos to grow the community like I did the last unsupported 5 years. I know that's passive aggressive, but at the end of the day, unfortunately, that's the state of things, because the list of who is going is mostly people who couldn't give 2 tosses for the heresy or its wonderful community. At least get the Varangian or Eye of Horus over there, people who were there the whole way, not some TikToker.
Someone who was there when Horus slew the Emperor.
Yeah. It's like, it's really hard. Danny, I want to hear your thoughts, because that's a real quizzical look on your face.
I can see your thoughts right now. They're not nice.
Bro, they're written plain as day on my face. Describe
it as you would a Seinfeld.
You see, there's a restaurant called Kenny Roasters.
Kenny Rogers Roasters.
My mistake.
Get it right, man.
My bad.
They serve chicken, roasted chicken, delicious roasted chicken. Anyway, this is
this
a real person
place?
just has like the worst case of FOMO I've ever seen. Like, oh, I produced content for 5 years. I deserve to be invited to this event. Get out of here. Games Workshop is trying to promote this event to the people with the most followers and the people with the most social influence. Like, they want this to succeed. Yeah. Just because you did stuff doesn't mean you don't automatically get an invitation just because you did some things.
And that's why the Mob Rules podcast gets copies of content for review. Because you want that to be in influencers' hands who are going to have the widest reach.
The best of the best, Al.
Absolutely right. So when do you guys leave for the UK?
Oh, we can't tell you. It's NDA.
We actually had to turn this down. We got invited.
That's fair.
We were asked, and we said, well, I've got finals. John's got his finals. John's got family. I've got in-laws coming. Like, we just don't have time.
You got to get your team ready for Adepticon next year. I mean, there's a lot on the go.
Holy cow.
There is.
Yeah. We got to love it. But by the way, guys, by some TikToker, he is, of course, referring to Warhammer, and literally the biggest 40K content creator on the platform. And while we sympathize with this guy here at Game After Dark, we can't quite put our finger on why Warhammer would be invited. I mean, he only has 735,000 followers. His videos have only been viewed 26.4 million times.
Actually,
I have no idea.
John, I got to interrupt you there. They've been liked 26.4 million times. They've probably been viewed many more times than that.
Yeah.
Just by people who didn't like them, like the 30K Horus Heresy community. But yeah, of course, they're going to pick. Who are they going to pick? Yeah, it's great that you did a great Get Started video 5 years ago about 7th edition. But this guy is actively getting eyes on the hobby at all times. Yeah. And it's clear by the way GW is promoting this, Horus Heresy is truly now a third main game based on what they're doing.
Guess what? We did the same thing. We promoted the heck out of Kill Team when that came out. We did an excellent Kill Team how to play video.
Yeah,
we did. And now they're just too polite to drop us.
I'm just saying.
If you guys actually want some Kill Team content, there's a good podcast on the network that you could
Oh
listen
yeah. That is a really good podcast.
Damn synergy.
to. Killzone. It's their own standalone thing, but it's quite good. It's actually made by other hooked up GW shills, so it's fantastic.
Perfect.
We have much in common. Danny, do you TikTok?
Do I TikTok?
Yeah.
I have to be really selective. I can't just go on there. I don't know. Like, I've got to be real selective about the topics that I look at on TikTok. So
I will
not
say,
really on Warhammer.
Big Diddy
Big-
Tyranids only hashtags.
remember when you share this episode, use the hashtag Big Titty Tyranids.
Also, Slapchop.
Yeah, also
or
Slapchop.
licked her tits. It's important. Hashtag licked her tits.
Until you spelled it out just now, I actually didn't get it, so I appreciate you doubling back.
I told you it's the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah,
It's great.
it truly is. It truly is. Guys, Henry Cavill is back in the Warhammer news with the loving and supportive. Oh wait, everyone was a dick again. He painted a custodian and shared it, all happy. And he got the comment here of Henry Cavill can't paint tiny toys confirmed. Doesn't stop y'all from simping him to death though. So sad. From what I can only assume is someone who played 30K. One person didn't like his paint job, and now Henry Cavill has nothing to do but to cry into his millions of dollars, lucrative acting career, rugged good looks, and movie-accurate Superman costume. Guys, it wasn't that bad. I mean, Danny, what was your take on this custodian here?
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it's totally fine. I don't understand what this guy's fucking problem is.
Sounds like a douche.
Yeah. I think it's literally just, I might not have millions of dollars, a lucrative acting career, or rugged good looks, but my custodian has 2 layers of highlights.
We got KR Quinn White Knighting immediately in chat. He's pointing out that it's a work in progress, guys. It's a whip.
Hey, wait.
All right, let's not jump to any conclusions.
This is Brandon Roth's fake account, and he's posting this because he's mad about Superman.
I just think that we should maybe leave people alone who are having fun with a hobby they enjoy. It's a crazy thought. Apart from when their hobby is complaining on the internet, then we'll get to it.
Yeah.
So moving along. Fine. Finally tonight, that twat monkey arch is back in the comments of the internet.
That's
with
I on behalf of Twat Monkeys, I'd appreciate it if you didn't conflate the two. Thank you.
Sorry, lower than that. With his rabid fan base letting us know, and guys, please realize that this is just a way for us to generate content for next week. Letting us know in the comments that Arch has called for the Warhammer community to fight back against GW. He's already won one battle against GW, showing that if we stand together, we can win. Do you want for trees to continue? Do you want him to continue all his narratives? Then fight. Start sending emails, respectful, non-harassing, but firm, demanding they back off their new IP roles and explaining how the animators, lore masters, and painting channels are needed to expand the fan base and how they are hurting the hobby rather than helping it. Fight, brothers, and this is very inclusive, by the way, and sisters
That's
of
nice.
the Imperium, or we shall lose our very souls to the idiotic evil that is GW. Danny, I just want your instant reactions on this here right now.
Dude, your message sucks. Your call to action sucks. Like, everything about this message is pretty terrible. Although I am happy that you added sisters to the end of that. That was,
I mean, that is real growth.
Yeah, that's some growth at least. Do you know how much money Arch makes a month on Patreon? Like, it's disgusting. It's like $1,700. So, like, this appeals to an
far more dollars than he deserves.
Yeah, like there's a zero sum of people in this community that obviously support that kind of stuff, and they're just garbage people.
I would just like to point out that this guy, I'm happy that he's an Arch supporter because he sprung to action over something that happened 8 months ago.
So quick, they're very.
I mean, this guy he's got a can-do attitude. He's really hopping to it. He didn't take it laying down. He probably took it sleeping. Probably watched a bunch of stuff on Netflix. Took a nap. Maybe had a snack or two, and then waited another 6 months.
Definitely not any Henry Cavill stuff.
Definitely not.
Yeah. just for both of you guys here, going back to this comment here, Arch has already won one battle against GW. I have no idea what this refers to, and I
do.
I drag myself.
It was a rap
through
battle in insufferable fake accents.
Perfect.
Perfect. And then also I enjoyed the call to action to fight in a respectful, non-harassing, but firm way, in which I can imagine them standing outside Warhammer World HQ, and when the employees go in and be like, "No lady space marines," and they're like, "There isn't any," and they're like, "We won, yay!"
Yay.
It's terrible. Don't be poisoned, guys. As we round out here for the day,
Mhm.
this is a hobby for everyone, and maybe don't have your hobby being a really shitty person to other people.
Well, I mean, I will point out that it's no, I'll leave it at that. It's a hobby for everyone. That's good. That's good. We'll just leave her there. We'll let her lie. Let her lie.
We'll let her lie. Who would pick it? In the chat here, who would pick it Warhammer World?
Rob Symes. He
Rob
does
Symes. Yeah,
quite
that's true.
frequently. He has done it.
To be fair, though,
Yeah.
in that instance, it is hilarious because it's one person sarcastically holding a sign.
That's true, but it's biting
rather than-
sarcasm instead
Than
of
5 people thinking
tone
they're making
deaf
real change.
ignorance.
British
Yeah.
way.
I mean,
true.
just imagine his wife. His wife comes home. Is like, "How was your day?" I'm like, "Honey, I stopped them. They're not doing female Primaris anymore. Were they going to do them anyway?" Like, no, it's fine though.
I still can't wait. I still can't wait for these new plastic kits to come out and be as tall as Primary Space Marines. And I just can't wait for them to be a good half head taller than every one of those fucking $25 resin Marines that these guys have, or $2.50 from Florch World. And it's going to be fabulous. I mean, the the galaxy will burn, as they say. It's going to be good.
Fair. Danny, and just as we're running up here, Val brought up a really good topic. What are you thinking about scale creep coming in Horus Heresy? You think that's kind of an issue there?
Oh, yeah, bring them in line so people can use the stuff between the systems. As much interplay as you can get between those two products, I think you should try and push for.
But no sharing transports. Keep your goddamn Primaris out of my Rhino. Ricky Rhino didn't find that STC so that some huge-headed Primaris could roll around town.
Was John, first of all, it's John Rhino.
John Rhino. I'm sorry. Ricky Rhino found something very different.
Ricky Stormraven is who it was.
Edgar Allan Stormraven. God bless him.
So where I think it's at with this here is 30K. We've talked about it. We've joked about it. Very snowflake community. You want to be very special. We have a community where at least 30% of the player base has spent maybe a decade lovingly converting and changing their Marines to true scale Marines.
Oh my God.
And now we just have a kit comes out, which is like, I spent 10 years making these, look at these, and no one's going to notice anymore because it's just going to be in line with anyone else. That's how it is. Terrible. Val, Danny, what else do we want to talk about before we wrap it up?
I mean, aside from being very uncomfortable with you calling me daddy in any context whatsoever, what's coming up?
I said Danny, but from now on I will only call you Daddy.
Oh, you said Danny. Woo! Well, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Bit of a Freudian slip there from old Valley Pants.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's your new name now.
Val Daddy? Yeah, I'm going to be guest lecturing on Arch Warhammer later this month. What's coming up? I don't know. We got all kinds of good stuff happening on the old FLGN. We got chapter tactics tomorrow with something. Signals from the front line. We'll figure out some things to talk to you about. And then after that, Thursday show's going to preview a bunch of events that are coming up. It's actually really good stuff. I hope you all enjoy it.
Yeah. And if you guys want to know, this is like the low bar. Everything gets better. Like Monday, we start here.
Bit of a crescendo.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we kind of go up from there. Danny, what have you got to finish this up with?
What am I excited about for the next couple of weeks?
What do you have to just talk about? Yeah, either what you're excited about for the next couple of weeks, what you're waiting to see.
Man, there's so much stuff happening all the time. Like I'm super excited. I can't wait for this week's preview of the Horus Heresy rules. I can't wait to see like the Tyranid book in the wild and how it performs. Like, because that's starting this upcoming weekend potentially for some events.
Mm-hmm. And last weekend for others.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. And yeah, there's some exciting new army releases and stuff like that. I can't wait to see. I can't wait for Chaos Knights to get released. That's going to be really cool. Yeah, I know. And that new Octarius book, or I know it's not Octarius. I think it's Nachman. Yeah, it's going to be dope too.
Yep. And then Danny and I will be back next week, hopefully with Evan from Sepulchre of Heroes. Sepulchre of Heroes, where no doubt we'll be tackling the worst and best of the community and going over the data slate, which is going to come sometime this week. And thankfully, it wasn't today. And I didn't have to rewrite everything. As Fallon's playing us out, we will see you Monday.